Welcome to yoga class. We will be starting in a seated position, so if you'd like to use something to prop up your hips, please go grab your blanket or towel and come to a comfortable seated position. Let's roll those shoulders back and down. Place your palm down on your legs if you're looking for a little bit more grounding. And if you're wanting a little bit more uplifting energy, let's place our palms up. Grow nice and tall through the crown of the head, stacking that spine. We'll start with 10 deep yogic breaths. Releasing any tension you might be holding on to in the jaw, the shoulders, or the neck. And let's gently open our eyes. And let's notice if we feel any differently now after those 10 breaths than we did when we first sat down. I'd like to move on to some pranayama using the bees breath that we learned in one of our previous videos. And I'd also like us to sort of meditate on the concept of gratitude. And when we do meditate on gratitude, we really shift our focus from viewing our life in terms of what we are lacking to viewing our life in terms of abundance, what we already have. It can really shift your entire way of thinking and your entire mindset. And it's very powerful. Gratitude is a very powerful word and concept to meditate on. It really is something that has impacted my life greatly in the last year. So as we go through this bees breath pranayama exercise, let's just take a moment to come inward and think about the things that we have in our life that we are thankful for. The people that we have in our life that we are thankful for. And then lastly, let's meditate on our health and give gratitude for our health. Even if maybe we're not in the best of health, let's meditate on what we are healthy in and what we can give gratitude for our bodies. So for example, you're sitting here going through a yoga practice. You could give gratitude to your body for carrying you through this yoga practice. So let's take our peace fingers, block our ears, and we'll do 10 of those bees breath while meditating on gratitude. And the things in our life we're grateful for, the people we're grateful for, and our health. So let's inhale. Very nice. Now let's take a few head rolls, moving with our own breath and at our own pace, stretching out our neck and our shoulders. Couple more times. Excellent. Now let's bring that head up to a neutral position. Remove your prop if you have one underneath your hips. And we'll come to an all fours position. So in our all fours position, our joints are stacked, hips above those knees, shoulders above elbows, elbows above wrists. We're going to inhale with that belly sink towards the mat, tailbone and head come up towards the ceiling into a cow pose. Exhaling, tuck the tailbone and the chin towards the chest, pushing up through the shoulder joints into cat. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. So let's move through this cat and cow flow with our own breath, maybe closing our eyes, making it a moving meditation on gratitude. Again, coming back to the things in life we're grateful for, the people we're grateful for, and then sending gratitude for our health into the universe. Releasing any tension you might be holding in that jaw. And then after your next cat pose, we'll come back to a neutral position. We'll curl those toes under, send those hips up to the ceiling into a downward facing dog. Palms press into the mat, fingers are nicely spread out, heels are coming towards the mat, heads in between the upper arms. You want to pedal up those heels one at a time. Stretching out our hamstrings. Maybe coming to the balls of the feet and then pressing those heels down a few times. Stretching out the feet. And then pressing the heels into the mat, finding your static down dog. So from here we're going to inhale into plank, exhale into down dog. Inhale into plank, exhale into down dog. So we'll just move through our down dog plank flow here a few times, feeling free to come to a modified plank as well. Always listening to your body, so feel free to come down here and then back up to down dog. Using that core to pull you up into the downward facing dog. Few more times. Last 2 and 1. So now we're in down dog, and this is optional. You can stay in down dog, or you can join me for some down dog push-ups. So if you're going to do the down dog push-ups, you bring your index fingers and your thumbs together so they're touching, and you want them to form a triangle on the mat. That head comes in between the shoulders again. So we're in down dog, except now our index fingers and our thumbs are touching. We're going to inhale, bring those elbows away from the ears, lowering your head to the mat. Exhaling, push up. Inhaling down, exhaling up. So the only parts of your body that are moving are your elbows, which then lowers your head to the mat. Last 3, 2, and 1. Great. So bend those knees, bring those toes together, coming into an extended child's pose. Giving gratitude to those arms for carrying us through those down dog push-ups. Alright, let's come back up to all fours. We're going to come into a plank and hold it. Remembering to breathe. Working our entire body here, especially that core. Feeling free to drop to your knees. Alright, let's place that left knee down on the mat. That left hand comes so it's in line with that knee. We're going to turn outward. Now that left foot is going to come straight back. So you should be able to look down on your left leg and see a nice 90-degree angle. So my left shin isn't like this. It is when we first come down, but then we move it. We're lifting up through that left shoulder. And now we're going to inhale, exhale that right leg up. Keeping that core nice and strong. Working our glute, right hip flexor. Last 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to hold it up, pulse it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Now let's come to the other side. So now we'll be on that right knee. Right hand is directly out from that right knee. That left leg extends out. Left hand is on the hip. Nice strong core Going to inhale, exhale that left leg up. Staying strong through the body. Trying to avoid any movement in the torso. Breathing, smiling. Belly in. Last 3, 2, 1. Hold that leg up and pulse it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right. Let's come down to a child's pose. Couple breaths here. Come up to all fours. Now we'll move into dolphin pose, which is a great strengthener for your shoulders, your upper back, and your upper arms. So, you come down to your forearms, interlace your fingers, check in to see that your shoulders are over your elbows, curl your toes under, send your hips up to the ceiling like a downward facing dog, and then push away into the mat with those forearms. So here's me not pushing away. Here's me pushing away. So you want your head in between those upper arms. Lifting up out of the shoulders, avoiding the tendency to sink, but lifting up. Breathe in here. So now you can stay here or join me for 5 swimming dolphins. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2, and 1. Great job. All right, let's come down to that child's pose again. Maybe bring your hands to your heels, a little bit more restorative. All right, let's come up to a down dog. That always sounds a little funny. Come up to a down dog. We're going to inhale, walk to the front of your mat, exhale into that forward fold, inhaling to monkey, rolling those shoulders back and down, nice flat back, exhaling forward fold, bending those knees as much as you need to, inhaling reverse swan dive up, exhaling hands to heart center, sitting back, hinging from the hips into that chair pose, wiggling your feet, or your toes rather. Most of the weight should be in your heels. Breathing here. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling forward fold. Inhaling monkey. Exhaling forward fold. Now we're going to send that right leg back. So we're in a low lunge here. Place your right hand next to the inside of that left foot and twist open, lifting that left arm to the sky. So your chest is twisting towards your knee. Beautiful. Breathing, releasing that left hand down, bringing the left back to meet the right, moving into your vinyasa. Meeting in down dog. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, walking to the top of your mat. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hinging from the hips, sitting into that chair pose. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Now send that left leg back into a low lunge. Take that left hand, place it next to the inside of that right foot. Twist from the waist. Release that right arm up towards the sky, twisting your chest towards your knee. Releasing that right hand down, coming into a plank, moving into your vinyasa. Meeting in down dog. Inhaling here. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, walk to the front of your mat. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, reverse one dive up. Arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sitting into that chair. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time, one more round. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Step that right leg back into a low lunge. Right hand comes to the inside of that left foot. Twist open, lifting that left arm high to the sky. Release that left hand down. Come into your plank or modified plank. Move into your vinyasa of choice. Meeting in down dog. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, walking to the top of your mat. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, reverse one dive up. Arms to the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Sitting back into your chair. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Send that left leg back now. Low lunge. Take that left hand. Bring it to the inside of that right foot. Twist from the waist. Releasing that right arm up to the sky. Lifting up out of that left shoulder. Bringing that right hand down. Coming into your plank or modified plank. Moving through your vinyasa of choice. Meeting in down dog. Inhaling, exhaling. Coming to your knees and coming to a child's pose. All right, let's come back to our down dog. Lift that left leg up high to the sky, bend the knee, draw it forward, back into that low lunge. Inhale, drop that back heel to the mat, come up to a warrior one. Bring those arms into a T, expand them back into a nice little chest opener. And then exhale, draw them forward, arching your back like into a cat pose. Inhaling, open, exhaling, arch. Inhaling, open, exhaling, arch. Inhaling, open, exhaling, arch. One more. Beautiful. Bring those hands to the hips, straighten that left knee, shorten your stance a bit. Bring those right toes to face the top of your mat. Inhale, roll those shoulders back and down, binding those hips. Exhale, hinge over the left foot, coming into your pyramid. Coming down here, modifying as necessary. If you aren't at touching the mat yet, no worries. These modifications are always available to you. Checking in with your hips, seeing that they're level. Another option is to widen your stance.
Breathing into the pose, surrendering into it. Sending gratitude to that hamstring. All right, let's walk our hands up that left leg. From here, we're going to go into a balancing stick pose with the option of moving into warrior three. So, we'll be balancing on the left foot, spread out those toes, make sure you have a nice firm grip on all four corners of that foot. Arms are down by the hips. That right foot is flexed. Hinge over those toes. Feel free to stay here or bring your hands to heart center and then extending them out. Coming back up and then extending that left foot back. Coming into your warrior one, your nice strong warrior ones. Bring those arms out into a T. Inhaling, expand the chest open. Exhale, curl it like we're in cat pose. Inhale, open. Exhale, arch. Couple more times. And last one, bring those hands to the hips, straighten that right knee, bring your left foot a little bit closer, pivot those feet, that left foot so those toes are facing forward as well. Square those hips, roll those shoulders back and down, find the hips with your hands. Inhale, exhale, hinge over those right toes, finding your edge, whether it be placing the hand on the thigh, on the shin, or the mat. Checking in with your hips to see if they're level. Another option is to widen your stance, which will help square your hips. Breathing here. Walk the hands up that leg, and now we'll do balancing stick or warrior three on the right side. So, spread out those toes, get a nice firm grip on that right foot. Bring the hands down by the sides, flex that left foot. With the option to stay here, bring the hands to your heart center or extend them out. I'm running out of room here, but you get the picture. Inhaling back up. And now we're back in our mountain pose. So let's inhale those arms up. Exhale, bring them to heart center, sitting into our chair pose. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to monkey, exhaling forward fold. Come into your plank or modified plank. Move through your vinyasa of choice. Meeting in down dog. Breathing here. Lifting up your right leg high to the sky, bending that knee, drawing that right foot forward into a low lunge. Now we're going to inhale, exhale, bring that left arm up and pivot it around so we come into a warrior two. So inhale, exhale, up into our warrior two. You may need to adjust your stance once you're up here, that's okay. Gazing over your right fingertips, being mindful of that right knee, that it's right over that ankle. The tendency is for it to bow inward. Releasing those shoulders down. Maybe let's flip up the palms and then bring them back down. Helps release the shoulders. Let's place that left hand on the back thigh. Reach your right arm up towards the sky to a reverse warrior. Bring that right forearm to the right thigh, coming into an extended side angle. with the option to bind here. So first coming here, and then if that left shoulder is coming straight up to the ceiling, you can reach through with your right fingertips, grab onto your left fingertips, pull yourself up with your core, and open up that chest. Inhaling back to your warrior two. Windmill those arms down. Come back into your plank. You have the option to move through vinyasa here or come into a down dog. Very nice. So now here, we raise that left leg up high to the sky. Bend that knee, draw it forward. Trying to do it as smoothly as possible without making any noise. So now here we're going to do the same thing. That right arm is going to come up, windmill its way around so we come up into a warrior two. So inhale, exhale, windmill that arm up. We're back into that warrior two. Gazing over those left fingertips, flipping the palms up and then down to release our shoulders. Nice, strong, beautiful warriors. Giving gratitude to our lower bodies right now for supporting us in this pose. Bring that right arm to our back thigh. Raise that left arm up to the sky for reverse warrior. Bend that left elbow, bring that left forearm to the left thigh, coming into our extended side angle with the option to bind. Feeling no pressure to do so, you're more than welcome to stay here, but if you would like to, come down to our first bind option. Then if that shoulder, that right shoulder is pointing up to the ceiling, we can reach back with our right fingertips, grab onto our left fingertips, open ourselves up with our core. Breathing, smiling. Come back into your warrior twos. Windmill those arms down. Coming into a plank, moving through your vinyasa or just moving to down dog. Bending those knees. Sending the hips back, coming to a child's pose. Breathing here. So let's grab our towel or blanket and have it nearby us. We're going to come back up into our downward facing dog. Lift up that left leg high to the sky, bend the knee, drop forward towards the chest, bring that left ankle towards the right wrist, moving into pigeon. Extending that right leg back, sinking the hips evenly down towards the mat, propping the hips up, that left hip up rather, if we need it. That hip isn't coming down, if both sits bones aren't sitting on the mat, we'll need a little prop for that left hip. So feeling free to stay here or coming down to the forearms. And then if that feels okay, bringing the head to the breaths. Breathing here. We'll stay here for 10 breaths. Trying to send your breath to that hip, that left hip. Trying to release into the posture. Surrender into that sensation of the hip opening. And then push ourselves back up to palms. Release that prop. Curl the right toes under. And back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Bend that knee. Draw it forward towards the chest. Bring that right ankle to the left wrist. Prop as necessary. Extending that left leg back. Inhaling, feeling free to stay here or coming down to your forearms. If that feels okay, bringing that head down to the wrists. And then push yourself back up to your palms. Release your prop. Curl your left toes under. Push yourself into a downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling, and then coming to a child's pose. Bring those hands to the heels and relaxing into the posture. And then we'll come to our backs. You want to have your blanket or towel with you, as well as your scarf or strap or blanket nearby, because you may need that. It will depend. So we're going to work on some abs. We're going to take our hands and place them underneath our hips. So your thumbs will be right above the sacrum area. So right at the top of your glutes, basically. And then your fingers, the rest of your hands, will be reaching down. So they'll be right under your glutes. We're going to inhale. Those legs up towards the sky, flexing those feet. And then from here, we're going to, and you may have to adjust your hands so you find like a non-bony area for your hands to be under. But we want your hips to be supported, so not to strain your low back. So we're going to inhale, lower those legs down. Exhale, come up. So you want to lower those legs down while pressing the low back into the mat. if you're finding that your low back is popping up off the mat, you'll just want to lower your legs down less. So your range of motion will just be a little bit shorter. So inhale down, exhale up. Five more. You should be feeling this in your abs, especially those lower abdominals. Last two. And one. Okay, so you should definitely feel it in your lower abs as well as your upper abs. For just a little note, I'm going to demonstrate it one more time and point out some common misalignments in the pose or in the exercise. So what I see a lot of people doing in class is they'll go down and then they do one of these. So we don't want to use momentum to bring the legs back up. It's really easy to do, to just use momentum to bring them back up, and then your hips kind of rock up off the mat. It can sometimes be kind of fun, but we want to bring the legs back up in a very slow and controlled motion, like we did when we brought them down. So we want it to take an equal amount of time to go down and up. Because if we use momentum to bring those legs back up, we're only getting half the work of the exercise. So just a little word of advice there. Now we'll go into a bridge pose. So bend those knees if they aren't already bent. Let's check in that they're in line with those hips. The feet are on the mat. We should be able to reach down with our fingertips and just graze those heels. Just roll the shoulders back and down, palms are down into the mat. Fingers are stretched out, spread out nicely like nice starfish hands. We're going to inhale, exhale, send those hips up towards the ceiling. So you can stay here, or if you'd like to get a little bit deeper into the pose, you can shimmy your shoulders underneath you, clasping your hands underneath those hips, keeping some room between your chin and your chest, and then sending those hips up a little higher. Bringing those knees inward. The tendency is for them to splay out. I want to bring them in. Breathing here. And then let's release our shoulders if they are underneath us, and then roll our hips down one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. Let's grab our strap. We'll move into a little hip stretch. Let's place that right ankle on the left thigh, drawing that left knee up towards our chest, clasping our hands behind that left thigh. Now, grasping behind your left thigh isn't accessible to you, that's okay. We have our prop here. You can just thread your prop through behind your left thigh, and then use either end of it to gently pull that left knee towards you instead of your arms, or instead of your hands rather. I guess you'd still be using your arms. So those feet are flexed. Let's inhale, exhale, draw that left knee closer to you with every exhale. And then release that side. We'll do the other side. So now place that left ankle on the right thigh. Bring that right knee up towards you. Reach through, thread your hands behind that right thigh, or thread your prop through and grab onto either end of the prop with your hands. Inhaling, exhaling, drawing that right knee closer to our chest with every exhale. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Beautiful. And then release that side. Let's roll on over to our left side. Stack those hips, bend those knees. Stack those arms on top of each other, palms touching. We're going to inhale, exhale, open up that right arm so the shoulder comes down towards the mat. You have the option of staying here, or you can move deeper into this supine spinal twist by extending that right leg out and that left leg down. So that left leg is in line with the body. The right leg is perpendicular to the body. Completely up to you. Yogi's choice here. This will give you a deeper twist. Twists are great for detoxifying the body, aiding the organs and eliminating toxins and wastes. It also improves digestion and alleviates low back pain. So if our legs are extended, let's draw that right knee back in and then roll on over to the right side. So you have the same option on this side. Let's start by bending both of the knees though. And then if that feels okay, we can extend the legs out. So on this side, the left shoulder is coming down towards the mat. If this feels okay and we want to go a little deeper into the twist, you can extend that right leg down, left leg out. Our legs are extended. Let's bend that left knee, bring it back in towards our chest, and roll on over to our backs. So from here, we'll go into a happy baby pose, which is a great pose to sort of knead out any sort of kinks or tension that's left in our back, as well as to finish opening up those hips that we've been working on. So we'll take our peace fingers, wrap them around each big toe. We're going to take our knees, draw them in towards our chest, and then bring the knees and the shins and the feet out a little bit so they're outside of our rib cage. You're going to use your arms to pull your feet down towards you and press your entire back into the mat. So you can choose to stay here, or sometimes it's nice to rock back and forth, giving your low back a little spinal massage. So again, yogi's choice here. You can stay stationary, or you can rotate back and forth. Really pressing that back, those shoulders into the mat. Breathing. And then releasing that pose, placing the hands right below the knees, and then just gently hugging the knees in towards your chest. Very nice. So let's take our prop here, a blanket or a towel. We're going to roll it up. To a cylinder-like shape. Place it in the middle of your mat. Your sacrum is going to go against one end of it, and then you're going to lay your back on top of it. You want your head to be supported by it as well, because in this pose we want your head on the same plane as your heart. We don't want it going below your heart. Those legs can be in a cobbler's-like pose. They can be extended out, or the soles of the feet can be on the mat, about mat-width apart, and then the knees drawn together. This will help alleviate any low back pain you might be experiencing. And then we'll just place our arms out into a T. This is a supportive, restorative, gentle chest expansion, heart opener. Breathing here, releasing any tension you might be holding in your jaw, your face or your shoulders, your back or your hips. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. So for our final relaxation, feel free to stay in this posture if you would like, or come to your corpse pose. We're in our corpse pose. Roll those shoulders back and down. Hands are by the hips, palms are face up. Again, releasing any tension in the jaw, the face, the shoulders, the neck, the back, the hips. Letting that tongue release from the roof of your mouth. Bring your breathing to normal rhythm. Let's first start by giving gratitude to ourselves, taking time out of our day to come to the mat and practice yoga. Let's give gratitude to our health and our bodies for carrying us through this practice, for supporting us in the postures. Now let's give gratitude to something we are grateful for in our life. Let's think of a loved one and give gratitude to them. Let's think of a difficult person in our lives and give gratitude to them for the things they have taught us, for the lessons we have learned from them. Lastly, let's give gratitude to all living beings. In this amazing world that they make up. Giving gratitude for being in this present moment amongst them. Amongst your loved ones and the difficult ones. Knowing that you are peaceful, calm, and relaxed with gratitude. Being mindful to take this off of your mat with you and into your life. And then when you're ready, begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle those fingers and toes. Bring that prana, life force, back into the heart center. Rolling on over to your side. And then up to a comfortable seated position. Well, thank you for joining me on the mat today. It was a joy to lead you as well. And I will see you back on the mat very soon. Until then, I wish you much peace, love, joy, and gratitude. Namaste.